Mic test, one, two, three. There you go. I should be audible now. Am I still audible? Yes. Okay, there you go. I think folks can hear me now. Still none? Guys, sorry ha. When I go online kasi I just really go blast online. So I keep on forgetting about how do you call this? Our audio. So welcome. Okay, audio on TikTok is working well. Thank you. Audio on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube is also working well. Thank you. If you may notice, for those who are just logging on for the first time, for Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, our poster is up here. On September 15, I am going to be at the Manila International Book Fair. We are going to be promoting our best-selling books. I'll be signing all of your books. Booth number 223. Specifically, I will be there from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. And for tonight, please make sure that you stay because we are going to give away all 4 books signed by yours truly, all 4 of them. And if you happen to be the winner, you need to claim these books at the Manila International Book Fair. That's going to happen on Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay. Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys are all good with that? I hope that's cool with everyone. All 4 books signed by yours truly. Just make sure that you stay for the rest of the session. We'll be asking a trivia question. And of course, the only eligible winners of our best-selling books are those who have shared this live stream on their feed. So please do stay tuned. We're going to do that somehow, somewhere, maybe on the 30th minute or the 40th minute mark. Okay? Folks on TikTok, could you please give me an exclamation mark if you're ready for our prize later on? Okay? Don't forget, the Manila International Book Fair is happening from September 14 to September 17. However, in my case, my appearance is going to be on Friday, September 15, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock p.m., which means I will not be there at 3. I will not be there at 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. I hope you take the time to commute all the way if you're coming from the office, all the way to SMX Convention Center in Pasay City. That's in SM MOA. Okay? Topic for tonight is going to be about conflicts with our managers. If you happen to be in conflict with your boss, or let's tweak it a bit. Let's say you're in conflict with your colleague. Is this something that you think your HR should intervene, no matter how grave the situation is? Are you going to wait for a while? Are you going to mention it already? Do you think that you have to manage the situation on your own first? Are you going to seek for help from your colleagues? Are you going to perhaps, instead of telling this to HR, will you tell it to the boss of your boss, for example? Okay, so we're going to talk about those things, and I would love to hear your thoughts about it. Plus, please remember our session is not confined to the topic of the night. If you have other questions that may be involving, let's say, your manager, quitting your job, hustling for a second job while you're still with your full-time job, it could be, let's say, changing lanes. Whatever your question is that is career related, feel free to also ask them in the chat box, and we'll also find a way to crowdsource responses. Remember, I'm not the only resource person here. The other participants who may be listening to you, may be reading your comments, can also share their thoughts and their points of expertise. Okay? So, I'm going to be looking some questions now and some answers in the chat box. Please start typing them. By the way, I'm reading a comment now from JVC on Facebook. JVC says, don't ever try telling HR since every manager and HR, in most cases, are close friends. I agree to a certain extent. Are close friends in the workplace. A subordinate, says JVC, cannot win the battle. Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys agree with that statement? Okay. A subordinate will never be able to win the battle until he or she quits. Find a way to have a graceful revenge. JVC, okay na sana eh. Yung bandang huli, mayroon pa talagang revenge na nilagay eh. Okay? To a certain extent, I agree. So what I will recommend is if you're planning to tell to HR, make sure that you know that no relationship, a good relationship exists between the two of them. I also agree with JVC. Most situations, your manager could be in cahoots with HR. And most managers have been in the company for quite a while. They've been there for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. They've probably have encountered intimate problems with HR such that it made them closer with each other. So make sure that if you're telling this to HR, the HR is not going to tell on you, right? So thank you, JVC, for that comment, by the way. I'm going to be looking some more questions or some more comments from the participants in the chat box. Let's see this. Trying to look. Okay. Joms Ogapay on TikTok says, Depende. If the harassment or bullying, then better escalate it to HR. Okay. Another comment here from Mats, also from TikTok. Sabi niya, yes, this is currently happening in our company. Here's my take. Apart from looking at the intimacy of the relationship of your HR with your boss, I'm also going to look at the gravity of the situation. If this is something that you think is against the ethics, against major rules of the company, so for example, if it involves integrity, bribery, if it involves, let's say, verbal harassment, if it involves hurting someone, if it involves mismanagement of resources of the company, I think it's something that is worth sharing with HR. However, if you think that the situation is petty and can be resolved by doing a one-on-one discussion with your boss and can be resolved by aligning with each other. Perhaps you've been applying silent treatment all these times and that's why you couldn't even resolve it. I suggest that you first go to that route. You also don't want HR to think that you're the type who, the moment you have the smallest problem in the world, you think that you have all the rights to bug others and to tell it to others. Okay? You're not sending a message that you can independently handle things on your own. And that usually suggests that you're lacking leadership material in your personality. Okay? So I just need to highlight that. Marion Mangalindan also says on Facebook, it is good to have an understanding of your company's escalation policy. I agree. The freedom to speak guidance as well. I agree. Likely, this is part of your HR's handbook. If you don't have a handbook, you might want to ask your colleagues who probably have been in the company for a longer time because they will understand what are the unspoken rules when the situations happen. So thank you. Ivy Flores on LinkedIn also says, document the issue. I agree. If ever you're going to talk to HR about an issue with your manager, you have to come up with receipts. You need to come up with what were the emails in terms of correspondence, what are the chats, the messages, anything that can show proof that if, let's say, for example, this is what your boss is doing, you're reporting something that's just not a hearsay. Okay, I don't want it to look like you're spreading rumors or you're bad mouthing someone. And if HR asks for evidence and you can't present, they can easily dismiss you for that. Okay, or anyone, including your boss, can say that you're just blackmailing me or slandering my reputation in the company. Okay. Matt Snildy also says, what if HR does not do anything despite the reports? If HR doesn't do anything, I think that's one of the worst case situations that might happen. And for me, it's a red flag. This is a company that will never treat you objectively and fairly. I think it's a red flag that you might want to consider if you even want to pursue staying longer in this organization. Okay. I want to read some more comments here again on Facebook. Mark De La Cruz on Facebook says, there are also companies who value transparency. There are companies who have platforms where you can speak up. I agree. Some companies have an anonymous box that you can tip information. Some companies also have a whistleblower policy. If those things are available, try to ask people around. Okay. Make sure you all have the evidence. Same response from Mark De La Cruz. Charlene, okay. Here's an interesting response from Charlene Costales on Facebook. Is it okay if you direct the issue to the top management because your boss and HR are the best of friends, just in case? This hasn't happened to me, but it has happened to a friend. You know what she did? Because her boss, who she think has an issue, is in best friends, has a very good relationship with HR. She instead sought advice and sought help from another senior leader in another department. So she wanted to look for allies. She was able to resolve the issue at some point. What happened was that the other senior leader was able to raise it to another member of HR. Okay. So that can work. But again, it's easier said than done. This is a very tricky, it's a very muddy water to, to tread. So tread with caution. Okay, let me read this question from 30 Watson on YouTube. His question is, a team lead role was open internally for applicants in our company. However, my friend who also applied for the role mentioned that the higher management has another plan. That's why he or she was selected. Any thoughts on this? Well, my only thought is, why bother opening the vacancy if you already have someone in mind? When companies do this, it's because they want to make it look like they open the position for everyone, so it doesn't look like they already have a bias. Again, it's going to be hard for you to prove this. If this was the case, first and foremost, who are you going to raise it to? Management? You're already against the management as well, or HR. So tricky. It's a very tricky situation. I can only feel sorry for this. I don't have a solution. If you're up against the same, especially if it's a family owned business, you really don't have much to fight for, right? If you're against the owners themselves who are also running the show. And in most situations, family owned businesses or small businesses, the owner is also the HR. Can I get the letter H if you guys agree? So it can be quite tricky if this is the case. Okay, another LinkedIn user here says companies should have a process on how to handle any situation, grievance handling policy that every leader should know. Most companies, at least in the progressive multinational companies, they have what they call as an arbiter or a tribunal. So it's a group of selected people outside HR who get to decide in terms of conflicts that happen among employees, and they make sure that they have the fairest decisions because they come from different departments and that they represent the best interest across different departments. Okay, let's read some more comments here. Jake, 𝗬cie_𝘂𝗀𝗃 says, ideally, there should be an open door policy, but in some cases, it's very difficult to open up, especially if it's about your manager, because not all are mature and professional enough to acknowledge the issue. Worst case, they will take it against you. Check. Isang malaking check. I'm not gonna, I have nothing else to say. This happens, obviously. I will say, however, that even if we are reading comments that may be negative and may happen in reality, I don't want people to think that every company or every boss is like this. I have seen both sides of the coin. I've seen a lot of managers, meanwhile, who are very open to feedback and will always say, what else can I do to make you better? What else can I do to help you get your job done? So while we're sharing our grievances in this online session, I hope people don't get blinded thinking that everything is all about bad bosses. Not everyone. And I'm very hopeful. Maybe I'm being very optimist here, but because I've seen a lot of organizations do better. And I'm hopeful that that becomes a positively infectious culture for other organizations to follow. Okay, let's read some more comments. I'm reading from Maverick. Never tell it to your HR unless it's definitely illegal and you got proof to defend yourself. Agree? Same thing. So always have your piece of evidence. And number two, look at the gravity of the situation. You don't want to look like every time your candy was stolen, you think that you have all the rights to just tell it to others. Okay? Christopher says on TikTok, this is something that I will also do, escalate this person to their boss. Okay? Again, I'm going to also apply the same principle. Be mindful of the relationship of your boss with their boss. Because if they're in good relationship with each other, they're just gonna end up ganging up on you also. Okay. Hashtag user 12345 on TikTok says, I asked my boss to take a certain leave so that I can have my child sent to a checkup, but he didn't agree. Why? I'm sure you are entitled to those leaves. Again, it depends on the situation. It depends also on the culture of the company. But you know what? If my kid is really sick and I think I really need to bring my kid to the hospital, I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring my kid. I'm gonna bring my child because I don't want to regret that something happened to my kid just because I was afraid of what my boss or my company is going to do to me. Bosses and companies are replaceable. Children aren't. So if you think that this is something that needs to be given attention to, please don't mind. You are responsible for your kid, right? You're not just responsible to your job. Okay, let's look at some more. Marion again on Facebook is saying, I think the fear of retaliation is what hinders people to raise their concerns about suspected or obvious misconducts. Of course. Again, in corporate language, in the words of Amy Edmondson of the Harvard Business School, she calls this as psychological safety. And psychological safety is the ability of an employee to feel safe that no matter how small my position is, no matter how new I am in the company, no matter what I think people's judgments are, I feel safe that I will be listened to. I feel safe that I will not be judged for my statements. Okay? So if it involves giving feedback, constructive feedback that my manager is doing something wrong, I am safe and I should feel safe that I will be able to say it. If your company is the total opposite of this, then psychological safety is obviously absent. Okay, let's read one more question. Okay, from YouTube, Basketball Source PH is asking, I have a startup. Okay, let's digress for a bit, different topic. I have a startup. What is the best way to start? How to ask what is their expected salary for employees? Just say it outright. I will, however, only ask the question about expectations of salaries at the end of the job interview, or in certain circumstances, I will only say it on the second stage or the last stage of the interview. Okay. And the reason for that is because I don't want to make it look like that this job is just all about the money. I want people who are applying for the job because they are committed to what they're going to apply for. They believe in the job that they're going to apply for, and they believe in the philosophy of the company. Okay. You don't want to make it look like also an awkward conversation because sometimes you only get to gauge how much is this person worth after they've spoken for quite a while. And usually they will be able to reveal their intelligence, they will be able to reveal their mastery of their craft when they've spoken to you for quite some time, for a few minutes, or if this involves multiple interview sessions after a few hours, for example. Okay? I don't think that there is any different way to say it. Just simply say, may I ask, what is your expectations for the salary? You could ask for a specific number, or for most situations, what HRs do is to ask for a range. Okay? Uh, okay, let's answer this. From Jan on YouTube. How about if you are a new manager with subordinates who are more tenured than you? Then you are put on a different context when you are just trying to correct them. Okay, Jan, I think what you're trying to ask in your question is, if I have direct reports who happen to be older than I am or happen to be tenured, and every time I correct them about a certain action, perhaps they're antagonizing you. They're saying bad things about you, they're not listening to you, and then they're disrespecting you. Two things. One, I will not be surprised if if it's something that happens. And the reason for that is I can understand and I can put myself into the shoes of someone who might be insecure because they are reporting to someone who is relatively younger and newer than they are. Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys agree? I will not be surprised. I will be disappointed, however, but I will not be surprised because I think that this is a natural reaction of humans. If we think that we are more senior than someone and someone steps on us, it's very normal for people to feel that way. So I will embrace that this is a reaction that is caused by being a human being. It's not a reaction that is specifically towards me, so that I will not take it personally. Okay? Because important yan. The moment pinersonal mo ang issue, the more that you will think bad about yourself, that it's all about yourself. You think like you're lacking as a leader. You think like you're not as smart as a leader. So don't take it against you. Okay? When I go to a dentist and the dentist happens to be way younger in terms of their appearance, sometimes I doubt if they should even pick on my tooth. And then I realize I'm judging the person because the looks, I always assume, determines their competency as a dentist. So see what I did there? It also happens to me. It happens to many of us. Okay? So that's the first one. The second one is I would do a heart-to-heart talk with my direct reports and tell them that I want them to know that I am here to support them and that I am their ally. I am not their competitor. I'm going to prove to them that if they also want to get promoted, just the way that I have been promoted, I am here to help them get to the finish line. And in order for them to do that, I need them to do X, Y, and Z. Okay? The more you tell them that you're here to support them, the more that you will lower their guards. Okay? Number three, it's important to let them know how you feel. Tell them that you feel hurt. Tell them that you feel disappointed. Tell them that this does not do well for your relationship. And that what you want, and again, I think this works well if you become vulnerable as a manager and tell them that this is not something that makes everyone be in a good mood on a daily basis. And if you tell it to them wholeheartedly and sincerely, I think people will be able to understand. If they don't, another way, I've kept on repeating this many times. So I'm sorry for everyone who has attended our past online sessions because you're going to hear it again. But my philosophy is that if someone underestimates your competency, the best immunity is to prove them wrong. If they're only sending 10 emails, send 11. If they're attending the office at 9 o'clock, be there at 8. People are going to shut up the moment they find out that you're just simply so damn good in what you do. And if you need to prove that to these people to make them respect you, then that should be your route. Okay? Let's answer some more questions. Let's do 2 more questions before we give away our prizes now. Remember, we'll be giving away copies of our best-selling books signed by yours truly. And in order for you to claim them, you have to attend our appearance. We're going to be doing a book signing at the Manila International Book Fair at the SMX Convention Center in Pasay City, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. on Friday, September 15. Okay? We'll be giving away these prizes in a while. All you need to do is to answer our trivia question correctly. Plus, you have to share this live stream on your feed. That's the best, not the best way. That's the only way for you to be eligible to join our prize, to our contest. Okay, let's read a question now on TikTok. Question here. I'm trying to read a question that hasn't been asked yet. Ooh, motivational FA says, is there such a thing as work-life balance? Yes, I think there is. But work-life balance, which most people think is 50-50, is wrong. No such thing as 50% work, 50% balance. You decide what that work-life balance is. I'll give an example. I love my job. I think I have one of the best jobs in the world as a researcher, as a teacher, as a motivational speaker, as a consultant. I love my job. So whenever I'm involving myself hours and hours in my job, I feel that I am in joy. I'm an immense orgasm, if I were to use that word, which means my definition of work life balance is when I spend more time for work. So I will say in my day, 60 to 70% of the time, I am working. And then 30%, I'm spending time with my family, with my friends, with my dogs, for example. But that may not be the work life balance for some people. For some people, it's 50-50. For some people, it's 40% work, 60% family. That's what works for them. That is their definition of work life balance. Work life balance is the balance that works for you. Can I get an exclamation mark? Okay, if you agree. It's the balance that makes you happy. It's the balance that makes you feel that you are not compromising your happiness at the expense of having to spend it for someone or something that you don't even love, for example. Okay? So yes, work-life balance does exist. But we should also not be imposing our definition of work-life balance to others. So I'll give an example. If my definition is 70-30 of work-life balance, 70% work, 30% balance, and I know that my teammates in my company want to spend more time with their family, I am not going to demand that they should also give 70% of their time. I will demand them the minimum, the requirements that I have asked them to do when they sign to be part of this company. Of course, I will appreciate if they go beyond their scope, if they go above and beyond expectations. I'll be very happy about that. And that's when you can get promoted. That's when you can get your compensations and your commissions, for example, your bonuses. But if the work life balance for them does not match or align with mine, I will not take it against them. That is what we call as diversity in leadership. You do what you do as long as you get your job done and as long as you're not hurting others. Okay? Let's do one more before we go for our prizes. Ooh, I'm so excited. Uh, I haven't been to the MIBF for 2 years now. I skipped the Manila International Book Fair last year. So I'm happy that we'll be doing one this year. Okay. Ooh, okay. I like this question. Let's do this before we go for our break. Ivy Christine Flores, what do you do if your team member, let's say this person directly reports to you, and this person directly goes to your manager and he or she allowed it? How are you going to handle it? Okay, Ivy, my understanding of your question is you have a direct report and your direct report has an issue about you or with you. But your direct report, instead of raising it to you as their boss, they went straight to the boss of the boss. Am I right, Ivy? Is that what you meant? Okay. I'm going to assume that that is the question. So that means they skipped you. They went straight to your own boss. There are two reasons why people do that. Number one, they don't respect you at all. They don't see you as the right leader. Or number two, perhaps there is conflict of interest for raising it to you. Whatever is the reason is between the two, I would go, again, my favorite approach, I would set a meeting. I would do a one-on-one discussion with my direct report and tell them ask them, why exactly did they do it? And I'm also going to tell them, why is it important that if you have a concern, you have to tell it to me directly rather than skipping me and going straight to my manager? I will tell them all the reasons why. Number one, I have your best interests and I will be the person who can directly work on your concerns. It can't be my boss because my boss also has other issues. They're looking at more of the visionary parts of the job. They're not into execution, and your concerns might be execution based. So it's important to explain the why and why hierarchy needs to be followed in the organization. Okay? Jobert Rapsing, I hope I recorded what you said about work-life balance. If you're watching this on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, you can just go rewind it later on because the videos do not get deleted. I'm going to remind people on TikTok, by the way, because on TikTok, the moment a live stream ends, you will not be able to watch it anymore. However, for Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, all our videos, all our live streams are archived, which means you just need to go back to the live section and all of our past live recordings will be there for you to watch. In fact, you can watch as early as 2020 because we've done more than 100 live streams since the pandemic. Okay? Gladiators in suits. I think we need to give away now our prizes. I want to give away our best-selling books. Okay, all four. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'll make it easy for folks. I'm gonna give 2 runners-up, and I'll give 1 grand prize winner. Okay, so the grand prize winner is going to get all 4 copies. Okay, all 4. Signed by yours truly, but remember, you have to claim it at the MIBF. I cannot send it to you. I cannot do a courier. I can't do LBC or Grab or Lalamove. You have to come. Okay? We'd love to see you. Okay? Now, the 2 runners up are going to get 1 copy of our latest book, Everything Will Be All Right. By the way, shout out to Mr. 𝗬cie HDZ of ABS-CBN News for featuring us yesterday. So I went to the studio, did the interview. If you'd like to catch that interview, it's available in our TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube accounts. We've talked about career management and what was the reason for writing this book. Okay, so the 2 runners up are going to get 1 copy of each, also signed by yours truly. Please also remember, anyone who's going to be part of the MIBF and get your book signed, you will also get 1 free access to any of our online courses. That's a 499 peso value. So, promise guys, if you get a book, you even get more. Actually, nalugi pa kami because the online course is more expensive than the book. So, the online courses that we offer are about public speaking, business writing, leadership, and they're all for 1.5 hours. You get an access of your choice if you go to the MIBF and get your books signed by yours truly. We're being very generous here because we'd like you to please attend. I'd like to talk to you if you have any career concerns. I'm also going to be there to share my quick thoughts and opinions about your career issues. Okay? So, if you guys are ready, my question now is this. Can I get a letter R in the chat box if you guys are ready? So, paunahan to we're going to be looking at multiple screens. I have 3 screens right now. We're looking at the screens for TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. The first winner across all the screens will get all the 4 books. The other 2 winners, the second and the third, will get 1 book of Everything Will Be All Right. Okay? Also want to highlight, if you'd like to get copies, they're available in Lazada, in Shopee, and also in the yellow basket on TikTok. Okay? All good? So my question now is this. Please station your fingers on your keyboard. My question is this. If you were listening, you'll be able to know this. What time will I be at the MIBF on September 15 or Friday? What time will I be there to sign your books? And it's only a 1-hour time range. What time will I be there? So you have to tell me the complete answer. Okay, what time will I be there? Wow, you guys are so quick. Ang bilis Okay. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is that I am going to be there from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock in the evening. We use that time slot, by the way, so that you have time to commute if ever you are coming from commute. Okay, I'm just asking my teammates to tell me who the winner is. Okay, so my winners, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are ready, my winner is found on Facebook. Okay, and then the 2 winners are found on TikTok and on, diba, para kompleto, LinkedIn. Okay, so my first winner for ito, kompleto pa ang sagot niya. Okay, so we need a complete answer, by the way. My winner on Facebook is Mr. Mark De La Cruz. Congratulations, Mr. Mark De La Cruz. You are the winner. Mark, please take a screenshot of this live stream. You need to show this to me when you come up at the SMX Convention Center for proof that you are exactly Mr. Mark De La Cruz. Okay? Congratulations, Mark. Let's give an exclamation mark to Mark, by the way. My winner on TikTok. By the way, the second winner is on TikTok, huh? The second winner is on TikTok is 𝗬𝗬𝗶𝗰. 𝗬𝗬𝗶𝗰, congratulations. The answer is 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. And finally, my winner on LinkedIn, ladies and gentlemen, is... Ready na ba kayo? Ready na? Wait, someone is asking, by the way, ano daw ang kailangan dalhin? Sabi ng TikTok, sabi ng someone here, you don't need to bring any, just make sure you take a screenshot if you ever have to be the winner. Wait, sorry, this is not the winner. What do you need to bring? You don't need to bring anything at the MIBF. In fact, entrance is for free. There is no entrance fee to get inside. So just be yourself and we'll see you there. Booth number 223, by the way. Okay? Booth number 223, in case you guys are wondering, huh? My winner on LinkedIn, complete answer po dapat, is Miss Ivy Christine Flores. 6 to 7 p.m. Congratulations. You also get a copy of our book. Everything will be all right. Let's give an exclamation mark to all the winners, please. Let's do that. So remember, September 15, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock p.m. at the Manila International Book Fair, SMX Convention Center in MOA in Pasay City. Entrance is for free. I'll be there to sign your books. John, what if I cannot, wala pa akong budget right now, I can't buy your books? Also fine. If you just want to be there because you want to ask for career advice or you'd like to say hi and drop by, I'll be very happy to say and drop by and take photos with all of you, okay? You're not required to buy a book. And I also don't want people to feel that they have to buy a book para lang pumunta sa booth, okay? It's a free world. And happiness should be as accessible as it should be. Diba? Amen. Can I get the letter A if you agree? Okay, so thank you. Let's give an exclamation mark. Let's congratulate all the winners. Oh, sabi ni 30 Watson on YouTube, I will still buy the book and have it signed by you. Thank you. I hope you come. We hope to see you on Friday, 6 or 7 o'clock p.m. Please remember, booth number 223. Booth number 223. Uulitin ko, booth number 223. The name of the booth is Feast Books. Okay? Feast Books because they are our publisher of our books. Feast Books. Booth number 223. Okay? Congratulations to all the winners. We hope to see you there. Let's continue our conversation. I think we can get three more questions here. Okay, someone is asking, Sir, mag-online po kayo bukas para magbigay pa po kayo ng prizes. O sige, I will go online tomorrow, I will promise that, but I can only go online around 10 o'clock to 10:30 p.m. Can I get an exclamation mark if you guys can still go online at that time? Just want to check. Kaya pa ba? And the reason for that is because I have dinner kasi eh. But if you guys will be available, sige, let's give away some prizes tomorrow. Let's give one more round of prizes for our upcoming MIBF. Okay? So let's continue asking questions now. Okay. Lily on YouTube is asking this question on YouTube. This question: how will you respond if your boss has trust issues because their previous employee are not honest in their work, and now that they are implying that we might do the same things to them? Okay, two things, Lily. Number one, I will understand that this is the response mechanism, the coping mechanism of my boss, so I will not take it personally again. Meaning, my mindset is, kahit sinong ilagay mo na empleyado dyan, kahit hindi ikaw ang empleyado, your boss will think the same way across everyone. So it's not about you. It's about what they feel. Okay? It's important to segregate that feeling so that you don't think it's about you who's wrong. Okay? That's the first one. Number two, the best way to earn the trust of your manager is to prove to them that you are indeed trustworthy. So you have to give it some time. You can't expect that your manager is going to trust you in 1 month or 2 months. You have to spend 4 months, 5 months, sometimes a year. So when boss implies that you might be stealing or doing something else, it's not the best thing to hear, but I will give a little bit of patience, understanding that they're coming from a place of hurt. They're coming from a place of pain. Okay? It also doesn't hurt if you talk to them one-on-one, and sometimes you can tell them, boss, naintindihan ko po kayo. I understand why you feel this way, but I want you to know, and I'm saying this to you with wholeheartedness, that I am not one of those people who will get something from you, or who will lie, or who will X, Y, and Z. Sometimes all it takes is to tell it to them explicitly so that you can also earn their trust. Okay? Ayan, si Mark, tinipe na mismo sa chat box para hindi makalimutan. Booth number 223. Thank you. Okay. Mina Mins is asking on Facebook. Annual performance rating is coming up. Yes, it's happening soon this December, meaning about 3 more months, no? 4 more months. Ang bilis. What is the best way to compose your self-appraisal so that you are worthy of a good annual increase? Well, number one, you don't change or do anything during the meeting, because in the meeting you have already been evaluated. Tapos na, may ranking ka na eh. What you need to work on is what's gonna happen between now until December, right? So if you're up for an annual increase, what are the metrics of the company? Is it based on sales, based on timeliness, based on ability to network? You have to tick all the boxes. And by the way, if you think that you are performing well or not performing well, do not ask these questions at the end of the year when it's already too late. Can I get an exclamation mark? Right? Ask about it now. It's only September. So ask for a one-on-one conversation with your boss and tell them, boss, I'd like to know if there are things that I need to improve on, so that 4 months from now, when we do the conversation this December or January, I will have an opportunity to change. I will have an opportunity to be mindful of my actions. Right? Ang tawag dyan, if you're familiar with the 4 disciplines of execution by Stephen Covey, one of the tenets is called the lead and the lag. The lag is what happens at the end of it, and you cannot change it anymore. However, the lead, L-E-A-D, can influence the lag. Okay? So don't just count the sales. Count the number of times that you are calling a customer. Count the number of times that you are preparing for a call. If you can influence that, the lag or the effect will follow. Same thing also happens here. Don't look at what's going to happen in the annual performance meeting. Look at what you're doing to reach what the annual performance is going to be expecting from you. Okay? Ask as early as now. If you're walking along the pantry, katabi mo si boss, ask those casual conversations. Boss, patanong naman, how am I doing so far? Do you think I need to work on something? Boss, alam mo naman, I'm also eyeing for the annual performance increase because I think that I can contribute to this company. Can I ask, are there other things that I need to work on na feeling mo kulang pa? And I want to know as early as now. I don't want you to tell this to me only by December because it's already too late. I cannot change these things anymore. Okay? Okay, Anna Balababa is asking on Facebook, do personal issues really matter in the business? If I knew that one of my staff is having an affair with a married man, should I terminate her or make her feel judged even when she does a good job? My simple answer here, Anna, is it's none of our business. Even if we may think that this is ethically wrong, and I agree with you, I think that you should not be interfering with multiple relationships. I agree with you on that. But this is not your role. This is not your place. Your role is to be a manager fulfilling the business objectives. Unless the affair is affecting their performance. And what you're telling me here is that she's still doing a good job. It's none of our business. It is none of our business to what happens to people's private lives, inside their bedroom, inside their bathroom. It's none of our business. Okay? Also, it's for your own peace of mind. There are other things that I think you can problematize in this world. But I also applaud, Anna, that you are concerned about them. So yes, It may be good to think about it from time to time, but we're not their parents, right? We are not Jesus Christ either. We're not their pastors. We're here to meet the business objectives of the company. Okay? But thank you for asking. Can I get an exclamation mark if we're in agreement with that, team? Okay? Also, Anna, you cannot terminate people. From a labor legal perspective, you cannot terminate people under a different circumstance. When we terminate people in their job, it has to be something that is related to their performance at work. Okay? You cannot use morality, you cannot use ethics, neither should you use religion, for example. Otherwise, it might be counterproductive. They can even file a lawsuit against you because that means that you're perhaps discriminating them for something that has nothing to do with their job. Okay? So be careful also. Okay. Bubbly Personalized on TikTok is asking, can the company terminate an employee once they are enrolled to PIP? Yes, if the PIP has proven that despite the PIP, despite the performance improvement plan, the employee has not improved at all. Because that was the point. The PIP is a message that is sent to you to know formally that we are observing if you're going to improve further or you're going to continue this dismal performance. Okay. Catherine, what if it's part of the moral conduct under their contract? Then if it's under the liability for under reason or coverage for being terminated, go. Do so. It will depend again. So thank you for raising this, Catherine. And I agree. It can be part of that reason. My two dogs are so itchy now. They want to go out. The two of them are here. Okay. JVC, PIP is as good as firing an employee. For some companies, yes. It's their way of telling to you that you are about to be kicked out. However, I've also have worked with clients in the past wherein the PIP is a tool to help the employee be better. So it's not always a bad thing. There are more instances, however, I will agree that the PIP is being used as a tool to slowly and gently nudge the employee out of the system. Ooh, TikTok folks, if you're seeing my dog or Facebook, this is, by the way, Tanjiro. See that? Oh, Tanji, can you show your face to the camera? Ayan. Okay. Let's do one more question. Ooh, Lauren on LinkedIn is asking, as a government employee, pangalanan nga, anong government agency yan? We are not informed of our annual KPI. May I ask how to address this? Ooh, I'm sorry to hear, but KPIs are the foundations of any organization. If you don't know what you're working on and you're not aware of the measures in identifying if you have been successful in your performance, then what's the point? You're not an employee. You're a laborer, if you get my point. You're just there because they just need to get the job done and they're expecting that you're after the salary. You're after a job, not a career. Unfortunately, that's the situation here. So, Lauren, I feel disappointed because even if I tell this to you, I don't think they're going to act on it. But I will say this, not all government agencies have absent KPIs. I know certain government agencies who do have KPIs. So I don't know which government agency this is. If you happen to be in this type, talk to your manager and ask the reason why there are no KPIs in the first place. Now, if they are not aware of what KPIs is, I would suggest that you give them a quick explainer. And don't just tell them that you're looking for it. You make them appreciate why KPIs are important. Sometimes you have to be the one to explain it to them. Now, Lauren, I'm going to go above and look at the bigger picture here. What I think you're implying is Is it worth, therefore, working for a company that does not respect KPIs? And my answer is, if you're after a career, no, it's not. If you're just after earning a salary, go for it. In fact, it's going to be, technically speaking, it's going to be better for you if you don't have a KPI. Why? You're likely going to secure your job even if you don't meet your metrics. Can I get an exclamation mark? Right? So if you're after petiks lang, you're not going to be called out if you're not performing well. Then not having KPIs is a good thing. However, if you want to advance the corporate ladder, if you want to advance the ranks, you need to get KPIs. Otherwise, you will never be judged fairly and you will be never recognized for what you accomplish in the company. Pangalanan nga, Lauren, anong government agency to? I would love to know. Or you can send it to me privately if you want to keep it confidential. Okay, Gilbert San Antonio, what is the best approach to the team or agents enrolled to PIP? Most of the agents believe that this is a way of terminating people. Number one, Gilbert, your people will keep on believing that it will be a way to terminate people if everyone is definitely getting terminated because of PIP. You have to give them other examples. You have to give them opposites. You have to show to them that there was another employee in the past who was placed on PIP and was able to improve, and she kept her job. If none of those examples happen in reality, you cannot blame people if they are traumatized for the PIP. Can I get an exclamation mark again if you agree? Okay. Number two, even if people are not on PIP, find a way to explain to all the employees what is the journey behind the PIP. Conduct a seminar, do a half-day workshop, do a coffee session with them, explain to them what will happen during a PIP so that they get desensitized thinking that the PIP is only for people who will get terminated. If you explain to them that the PIP is a way to support people, to augment their performance, to help them keep their performance up to a high level, right? You can help them appreciate that this is not something to be afraid of. Okay? Team, I'm gonna go offline now. But thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of our discussion. Promise to. Because sometimes kasi I promise but I don't fulfill it. Promise, tomorrow I will go online. I will go online around 10 o'clock or 10:30. I hope that's okay. All right? I just need to finish my dinner with a good friend, with Farah, one of my coolest friends in town. Okay? I'm going to head now to walk my dogs. I hope you're all having a great night so far and a great week so far. Can I get the letter L if we have learned anything today? If there were any aha moments. Oh, Tanji, can you ask me? This is Tanjiro, by the way, named after Demon Slayer. That's why that's his name. And then my other dog, which is a street dog that I just picked up here, his name is Asta, also a character in Black Clover in anime. Can I get the letter U as in unlearned if you have unlearned anything today? What do you mean by unlearned? Unlearning something means you thought it was always doing A and then you realized pwede din pala sa letter B. So you unlearned a good way. Unlearning is another type of learning, by the way. Okay? So thank you. Don't forget, please do catch us on September 15. That is on Friday. Okay? At the Manila International Book Fair. Entrance is for free. If you're a book lover or if you want to learn something new, pick up a book. Lots of books are on sale at the Manila International Book Fair. So please do come. Friday, payday, by the way. Okay, so if you're gonna be coming, please make sure you come on time. Okay, baka malate kayo kasi nga Friday payday. So please come early. I will be there from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Might extend until 7:30 p.m. because my dinner is gonna be at SMX anyway also. Speaking of which, I should drop by IKEA. I need to buy some stuff in IKEA, no? Okay, so I hope to see you guys there. Last thought, if nabitin kayo and you'd like to hear more, please catch us on Spotify. We do have a podcast, and that is called From Grit to Great. For people who are asking, John, where is your podcast? Guys, meron akong sasabihin. Madedelay po ang podcast namin. Okay? Madedelay po to October. I am frustrated. You have no idea. I cannot tell the reasons why, but there are technical concerns that we are currently facing. But season 3 is definitely happening. We hope you get to catch us. In the meantime, we hope you have not yet finished all of our episodes, season 1 and season 2 on Spotify, From Grit to Great, everything about career management. Okay? And of course, last na lang pala. If mahilig kayo sa workshops, please do come. September 29 and September 30. Our workshops at the SMX Convention Center in Fort BGC, SM Aura is happening. Leadership, social media marketing, public speaking, and business writing. Go to our website, johnyabut.com/talks. So for those who are, ayan, meron pala ako dito. Oo nga, no? For those who are on TikTok, that's our workshop, johnyabut.com/talks. For those who are on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, you see this? Yan. That's our workshop. Enroll in our career workshops. Please catch us. The ticket is worth $1,299 for 3 hours. We have around 200 participants from all over Metro Manila who usually attend from different companies. It's a very enjoyable learning session. You'll be seeing me live in the flesh. We'll talk about leadership, social media, public speaking, business writing, and the like. Please catch us. Get us some tickets in the website. Okay? Oh, ayan. Nagbenta na ako. Lahat binenta na. Thank you. I hope to see you guys all soon. Tomorrow, promise, I'll be online. Bye, guys.